Welcome back everybody, I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's an amazing day today because we're back reading some more Am I the A-hole? And I'm so excited for this and I hope you guys are too. Now I did only make an episode on here like 4 days ago, so I'm going to read all the top posts since the last episode. I'm hoping there's enough. It's a very active subreddit, so I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. And let's get right into it. Enjoy guys. Am I the a-hole for refusing to make my daughter issue an apology to the class clown and telling the mother her daughter is a brat? My daughter, Ava 14, is a good kid in general. She gets good grades and is pretty quiet at school, sticking to her friend group and not causing issue. I was surprised getting a call today that I needed to pick her up since she got in trouble at school. Basically what happened was that the class clown, Mia, was messing around in class and dancing and singing during class for no reason. My daughter had had enough and told her to shut the F up. No one likes her and she's the reason no one enjoys school. A student recorded the whole thing. Mia ended up crying and they were both sent to the principal office. The principal wanted my daughter to give an apology to her. I told them no and that we're leaving. This started the mum telling me that her daughter needs an apology. I told her that her kid's a brat and she should learn how to behave in class, that if she wasn't annoying as hell, my daughter wouldn't have snapped after 5 months. She called me a jerk and my daughter is iffy if she needs to apologize, so I'm making this. Edit to clear stuff up. This was asked and the teacher was trying to get her back to her seat. This was in the middle of a lesson. She was trying and Mia was ignoring her and kept going. Also, since some people are confused, this wasn't a one-time thing. According to my daughter, she had 5 months of dealing with Mia and her behavior. Another question I've seen is, does she have ADHD? No idea, not my kid. If she does, it does explain some things, but it doesn't excuse it. Update 1. So some stuff has happened since I posted this. It got out what my daughter did to the other parents, and they've sent me email receipts of how many times they tried to get the school to do something about Mia. Most of the parents are pissed that Ava had to go to the principals. The principal has sent an email about conduct in the classroom and a new policy that if kids disrupt a class, they'll be taking action. Don't know what that means yet. Oh, right, okay, that's so interesting. So all the other parents were like, no, they're super frustrating and you shouldn't have to apologize. So this one is labeled as not the a-hole. This is an interesting comment, I feel like. Everybody sucks here, literally everyone. No one in this story comes out looking good. Mia obviously should sit down and shut up. She's being disruptive and taking away from the learning environment. The staff at the school and her parents need to recognize that Mia is being a problem and they need to take action. Your daughter took it way too far with the nobody likes you comment. You didn't recognize that your daughter did take it too far and you should apologize for that. Yeah, I feel like that's the only bit. I feel like everything the daughter said to Mia was fine, except saying this is why nobody likes you. But then also it sounds like it is pretty understandable. So yeah, I feel like it is leaning more towards not the a-hole. This comment says not the a-hole. At 14, these are either 8th graders or high schoolers. If this student is constantly derailing class and preventing other students from learning, she should be called out. Teachers really can't do anything in this day and age. Former teacher here. Peer pressure and public call-outs can work, especially if it is the other student saying, hey, this isn't okay. One comment in 5 months isn't bullying. Your daughter lost her patience. There's a comment from OP saying that the teacher was there trying to get the kid to go back to her seat. This was in the middle of a lesson and it wasn't working. She had no control of the room. I saw the video. Mia was completely ignoring her. Yeah, no, I feel like it is leaning more towards not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for refusing to make lasagna for Christmas after what my mother-in-law did last year? I, 30 female, have been together with my husband Michael, 31 male, for 7 years, married for 3 and dating for 4. My mother-in-law, 58 female, has always hosted Christmas ever since I've known him. I've always made a lasagna for Christmas and other special occasions. I'm essentially the family lasagna maker, and I honestly don't really mind since I love to cook and bake. However, last year my mother-in-law decided to make lasagna based off what she saw me doing when she was at my house and a recipe that she got off the internet. I was surprised that she prepared a pan of her own, but didn't say anything, and I even got a small piece. It did not taste good and it was barely even touched, while mine had almost half gone near the end of the dinner. That infuriated my mother-in-law and she wound up doing a rant about how everyone loves me more than her and tried to throw my lasagna in the trash. What? I say tried because it mainly ended up on the floor. Michael and I quickly left after that, and my mother-in-law has not apologized for it since. Yesterday she called me to confirm what I was making for Christmas this year, and on her list of things I should make was lasagna. I politely said that I wasn't going to make a lasagna due to last year's incident, and I'd be happy to make anything else. My mother-in-law wasn't as polite and called me vindictive for refusing to make the lasagna over a small mistake. Oh my god, take some accountability. Are you joking? I just refused again, and it made my mother-in-law even angrier. So she told me that unless I show up with a lasagna in hand, she wouldn't let me be at the Christmas celebration. Oh, so immature. My husband says it's easier to just make the lasagna to keep the peace, and I shouldn't hold my mother-in-law's mistake that she made out of anger against her. Yeah, but they didn't even apologize. Word got out to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law from my mother-in-law, and they're saying I should also make it, even if it's just half of what I would usually make. Yeah, like the top comment says, my husband says it's easier to just make the lasagna to keep the peace, and I shouldn't hold my mother-in-law's mistake that she made out of anger against her. Sounds like he just volunteered to make the lasagna, not the a-hole. And also, like the comment under it says, premeditated, self-destructive, failed strategy, not a mistake. This woman wanted, for whatever reason, to upstage OP, went through the effort of trying to make OP's signature dish, did a poor job of it, then proceeded to rampage with revenge and destroy OP's leftovers. There are way too many deliberate actions in that event for any of her chosen behavior to be a mistake, and she hasn't even apologized. I'd be insisting that husband joins OP in whatever other Christmas celebration she'd prefer to attend. They can send a cheap frozen lasagna to mother-in-laws as their RSVP no. Yeah, super lame of the husband to not back up their partner. Like, the mother-in-law is obviously in the wrong, and yeah, it's not a mistake what they did. And also, the fact that the mother-in-law hasn't even apologized, that's enough reason for you to not want to go. But then when you do tell them that you're not going to make the lasagna this year, and they get rude and upset and start saying that you're being vindictive, the mother-in-law sounds so childish. And the fact that they didn't go, oh, you know what, I probably shouldn't have done that, and it was super inappropriate and stupid for me to chuck a tantrum like a child and not even apologize. Yeah, nah, get out of here. You're definitely not the a-hole. It's pretty obvious who is. Am I the a-hole for asking my college classmate about her pubic hair? So, last weekend at college, my roommate invited a bunch of people into our dorm, a mix of girls and guys, and we were all drinking, and somehow the conversation got to the point where one of the girls, who I know, but we're not close friends, but we definitely had a friendly acquaintance relationship, at least until this incident, asked me if I was circumcised. I felt the question was invasive and personal, so I responded, "What's your pubic hair situation?" Trying to give her a taste of her own medicine so that she'd see how it feels to be asked an invasive question about your private area. And my question was less personal than hers. It was about a styling decision, which is done of your own volition and easily changeable, as opposed to something you had no say in and have no way to change, and hopefully realised that she'd overstepped the line. But instead, she just blushed and ran out of the dorm room. Now my roommate is mad at me and wants me to apologise to her, but I don't think I did anything wrong here. If she doesn't like having me ask her questions about her private area, she shouldn't be asking me questions about mine. Was I in the wrong here? No, I feel like what you're saying is completely right. And yeah, like the top comment says, not the a-hole. She's the one who took the conversation in that direction. Ridiculous of her to then get upset when you play the same game. Yeah, 100%. But are they the ones who are saying that they should apologise? Or is it only the roommate that is mad and saying they should apologise to her? Because all they said is they started blushing and then ran out. So, like, were they embarrassed? And were they upset and saying that you should apologise? Because, yeah, it doesn't actually say that the woman they're talking about asked them to apologise. Yeah, no, I feel like this one's pretty simple. Like, yeah, they're the ones who are asking invasive questions. There are a few comments here saying a little bit of everybody sucks, but mainly not the a-hole. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for flipping out after he ate my son's food? I don't think I'm an a-hole. However, literally everyone I've spoken to is against me on this because it's just food. I would never make someone feel like crap over food, blah, blah, blah. So here I am, 30 female. I have a 13-year-old son named Colby with my ex-husband. Last year, my son desperately wanted to go to Japan because his father currently lives there, and my son had been there multiple times for visits during the summer and fell in love with it. He begged me to let him live with his dad for a year, and while it broke my bloody heart and gave me extreme anxiety, I agreed. I couldn't say no. He went there for a year and came back home in August of this year. As many could imagine, Japan has much different cuisines than the US does, and while my son wouldn't complain about anything I put in front of him, he did make a few comments about missing Japanese dishes, so I went on a few websites, got a hold of his dad, etc., and I was able to get some of the ingredients and recipes shipped out to me. His favourite one is some type of noodles with a dark brown spicy sauce. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but since it's his favourite, I have his father send me out the noodles and the sauce, so my son can prepare it for himself at home, as well as buying him the fresh ingredients needed. Well, me and my husband's daughter 9 asked Colby the day before yesterday if she could have some of his noodles. He said no. He only said no because he's made the dish for her before and she wasted the entire thing because it was too spicy, so she doesn't like it, and therefore he said no and reminded her that she didn't like it. Before my daughter could even respond, my husband pipes up with, "Give her some. There's no reason why you can't share." So I stepped in and I said, "No, she's already had it and she threw it in the trash and this is his food. He doesn't have to share his food. He just kind of walks off." Well, this morning my son asked me where all of his noodles were, 4 packages, and my husband says, "I ate them." I asked why the hell he would do that, and he said because I wanted to. Wow, they're trying to get their power fix. To me, this felt like a big FU because I told him my son didn't have to share his food, so I did lose it. He did this on purpose, I just know it. I told him he was a pig on a power trip and he should be ashamed of himself for eating my son's food. He says I'm ridiculous and I'm an a-hole for calling him a pig because he's overweight, simply because he was hungry and wanted to eat. Everyone else says I'm an a-hole too, as I said. Am I the a-hole? The top comment says, "Not the a-hole. Your husband seems to be on a power trip," and I'm thinking there was much more than one reason your son wanted to live with his father in Japan. Yeah, it's just food. However, it's food that was purchased by your son's father and then shipped to him from Japan. It belongs to your son and your son only. He does not have to give it to anyone that he doesn't want to, as it was a gift from his father. I really think you need to have a private conversation with your son, away from your husband, and ask him if your husband treats him poorly when you're not around. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the answer was yes. Also, eating 4 packages of noodles in one sitting just to dominate your 13-year-old son is both a pig thing to do and extremely immature. It's the equivalent of licking all the cookies so no one else can have one. Editor add, if you choose to stay in this marriage, get your son a lockbox or a safe so that he can store his non-perishable food items in, and possibly even a small fridge with a lock on it if there are any perishable items that need refrigeration, because I guarantee you this is only the beginning. And OP said underneath, I'm pretty sure he would lick all the cookies just so no one else could have one. We were already on the fast track to divorce. Yeah, no, you're not the a-hole. Their stepdad is eating the gift that their dad got them, shipped all the way from Japan. Like, imagine having a stepson and feeling like you could do something like this. Well, also feeling like you could do this to anybody, but like it's your stepson. Bro, what are you doing? Yeah, that's such an immature thing to do. Like, unbelievably immature. And yeah, I don't feel like you're the a-hole even a little bit. I can't get over that. That's such a gross thing to do. There are so many comments here that are like, leave them and move to Japan. Like, yeah, how would you even look at somebody the same after they did something like this? And yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. Your husband sounds like an unbearable and immature a-hole. It's probably not even just a food to your son, but a connection to his father. Man, this makes me so mad. Yeah, and the audacity. And who's saying that you are the a-hole? I'm so happy you made this post and everybody is saying that you're not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for brushing my daughter's friend's extremely matted hair out so she could avoid a drastic cut? My daughter has a friend A, 13 female, who's been going through some health issues that I don't want to put here. A's mum passed away when she was little, so it's just her and her dad. Since he started dating his girlfriend, we'll call her C, A's needs have been pushed to the side a little, and he's just now noticed that A has been struggling. She's doing better now after getting the help that she needed. However, A's hair has been extremely matted as it hasn't been brushed for months. A had been hiding her hair under hats and hoods at home and trying to disguise it at school in buns. She stayed over at the weekend and only found out about her hair when they came downstairs after getting a comb stuck in A's hair trying to fix it. I comforted A as she was ashamed about her hair, but had hoped that she and my daughter could fix it. My daughter convinced her to tell me about it as she'd been scared to say anything to anybody, as she thought she'd be judged about it, as her dad's girlfriend has made comments about her appearance when she was going through her health issues. When A was going through her issues, I made it clear to her and my daughter that our home is a judgment-free zone, and if she ever wanted to come to me or my husband for help, then she'd get it. A then did ask for help detangling her hair, so that's what I did. We put on some films and we worked on detangling A's hair. It took hours, but it was doable. When A went home on Sunday, her hair was completely detangled and neatly braided into 2 Dutch braids. She was happy and she thanked me for helping her with her hair. Then on Monday, I got an angry phone call from C because she was meant to be taking A to get her hair cut due to how matted her hair was. Apparently C and A's dad had noticed how bad it was, and C had told me that she'd get it sorted. C is mad because the salon they were going to had charged her a cancellation fee for cancelling the day of the appointment. C wants me to pay her back for the cancellation fee as it's my fault for fixing A's hair when they were going to go get it cut. I told her that I wouldn't be paying for it. I just did the right thing by A instead of going to the extreme option right away. C then said that A was no longer allowed to be friends with my daughter and they would sue me for the cancellation fee. It was £60, half the cost of the cut. My daughter told me that A knew about C wanting to cut her hair and A didn't want the haircut, which is why she went to my daughter for help. A, like my own daughters, has long hair, so cutting the matted hair out would have have meant her losing well over half the length of her hair. Am I the a-hole for brushing out A's hair so she avoided getting a drastic cut? Update, this got more attention than I thought it would. I'd like to clarify a couple of things. One, while I'm not going to go fully into A's health issues, the matted hair is the result of a depressive episode. Once things got better, she was just very embarrassed by the state of her hair, but didn't know how to fix it, so she hid it and it got worse. She is able to brush and wash her hair when she's okay. And number two, A isn't being neglected by her dad. He knows he hasn't been the best dad to A and is trying to be better when it comes to her. Since A's health issues, he has been seeking help. I'm not going to report a man who I can see is trying to get better as a parent. A's dad, I'll call him Jay, came around earlier as he wanted to talk to me. A and C had gotten into a shouting match yesterday because of the cancelled appointment. C had told A that she wasn't allowed to see my daughter anymore until I paid the money I owed. This was news to Jay, and A told C that she was going to continue seeing her friend. A also told C that she hated her, and that if anyone was going to take the place of her mum, it would be me, because at least I cared about A as a person, and not just her appearance. Wow, good on you, A. Jay wanted to know what had happened with A and why I owed C money. I explained it all to Jay, and he was horrified to learn that C was going to cut A's hair short instead of helping her. He'd been under the impression that the appointment had been to get her hair detangled, and would not have consented to A getting a big chop. He hadn't realised how focused C had become on A's appearance with her hair. He told me that he wasn't going to stop A coming around, as he knows how important my family is to her. When her mum died and he fell apart, we provided the stability they both needed. I told Jay that A is always welcome here and she knows it, but it's her dad that she needs. She needs him to be there for her and to support her through whatever she's going through. Having her dad will mean more to her than having me there. Jay agreed with this and knows he hasn't been the dad that she needs, and is going to try and be better for her. He's asked if I could recommend a family therapist who could help them, and I gave him a few names. Since A started going through her issues, Jay has stepped up. He's not the same dad that he was when they started, but he does still have a way to go to be the dad of the year. Since speaking with Jay, I've had angry texts from C, furious that I went behind her back and spoke with Jay when she was dealing with the issue. In the string of angry texts she sent me, she said horrible things about myself, A, and my daughter. I'm not engaging with her anymore. She's a walking red flag. I screenshotted them before blocking C, and I sent them to Jay's work phone. Jay gave me his work number when he started dating C, because she'd been screening and deleting messages before he saw them. She doesn't have access to his work phone. My daughter has been messaging A making sure she's okay, and she will be coming to stay at the weekend as she doesn't want to be at home when C collects her stuff. I'm not sure what is going on with that relationship, nor do I want to know, but it does sound like Jay is finally putting A first. Oh yeah, you're definitely not the a-hole. I was going to say, as long as A doesn't lose contact with you, but it doesn't sound like they're going to, so that's good. And yeah, the fact that they were going to cut the hair off, instead of at least trying to do what you did, yeah, you're definitely not the a-hole, and it does sound like Jay is realizing all of this. Yeah, you did the right thing for sure. Am I the a-hole for kicking out my future in-laws after they lost and almost killed my dog? I'm engaged to my fiance Meg. I own a large home. Meg spends most of her time at my place, but technically still has her own. We're in the process of moving her in with me this fall. Since my place has a lot of room and Meg's doesn't, I agreed to host her family from out of town for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be blunt, I don't like Meg's family. They're all extremely conservative, conspiracy theorist, low-key racist, a woman's place is the kitchen types. Meg is very different from them, but is close with them. She hasn't seen them in a year, so I agreed that they could stay at my place for the holiday, because I can usually tolerate them enough. Wednesday morning, Meg's parents arrive and things are fine. A few hours later, Meg's sister gets here. I have a dog named Lucy. This is my dog, not Meg's dog and not our dog. I had her for years before Meg was around, and Meg is not a big fan of dogs. Although she likes Lucy, I was in the bathroom when the sister pulled into the driveway. Meg's mum calls to me and says, I'm gonna let Lucy out front to say hi to Meg's sister, to which I explicitly said, no, don't do that. She needs to be on a leash and I should handle her. Give me a minute and I can come help, but leave her inside. I know she heard me because she said okay. 2 minutes later, Meg comes screaming, saying that her mum let Lucy outside and she ran away down the street. I ran out of the house and I got in my car to drive after her, but I could never find her. I drove all around my neighborhood and adjacent neighborhoods trying to find her all day, but I just couldn't. She had my number on her collar, but I was terrified she was gone or got hit by a car or something. Meg drove around in her car throughout the day too, but her parents and sister did nothing. They just spent the day alone at my house. I went home and slept and then resumed the search in the morning on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. I continued searching and I got a call in the afternoon that somebody found Lucy. I went and I got her and she was a mess. She had several bite marks and was bleeding in several places. I think she got in a fight with a wild animal. I took her to the ER immediately and they patched her up, and she will pull through luckily. But that process took a long time, so I didn't get home until Thursday night. Today I was exhausted and I pretty much locked myself in my room with Lucy to watch gotcha. Meg's dad knocked on my door and told me to be a man and that the dog was back and it was just a stupid dog, so who cares? I told them all to leave right now. Meg was upset and said they didn't have anywhere, and I said I don't care, but they can't be at my home. They eventually left after I threatened calling the cops. Meg left with them and texted that it was rude for offering my home and then kicking them out, and they made an honest mistake. No, they did not. I felt that her mum did not listen to what I told her, and Lucy needs quite alone time to recover, and I never even got an apology. Am I the a-hole? The top comment says, not the a-hole. This could have been so much worse. Poor Lucy. Did the mum say anything to you after this? Did anybody apologize? And OP says underneath, no, I just got sassy remarks about how I didn't even make them a Thanksgiving dinner, so they had to go find a grocery store that was open. Nobody apologized other than Meg giving a I'm sorry that happened and that you were worried. Yeah, like the comment under that says, I'm sorry that happened and that you're worried. Meg isn't even saying that they were wrong. Until she understands and admits that they were wrong, there's no saving this relationship, and I'd be very leery even then. And how does Meg square that with Meg left with them and texted that it was rude for offering my home and then kicking them out? That was not an honest mistake. You gave them specific instructions and they decided that they knew better. She's defending the indefensible. Yeah, and then also the crap that the dad said. Ew. And yeah, Meg doesn't even care. I feel like the way they responded to this is a massive red flag, and the audacity of them to say that OP didn't make them the Thanksgiving dinner. Like, OP missed their Thanksgiving because of you, and they don't even care. They're not even like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have let the dog run away. And the crap that the dad said, yeah, no, you're definitely not the a-hole OP, and you should run in the opposite direction from a family like this. And I feel like that's enough Am I the a-hole for today, guys. Definitely time to read something wholesome. My granddad just called me to tell me how big his cauliflowers are growing, and it was so cute. They're twice as big as the ones you get in the shop. Oh, they're so happy. And yeah, that is a magnificent cauliflower. That could be the most beautiful thing I think I've ever read. They are so happy when you become a regular at a place and they learn your name and they start asking about your day. Yeah, how sweet is that? Like, oh, you remember me. Thank you for this. Cute new coworker is super cute, and this is a problem. No, June 2014 me, it's not a problem because you're in love now and you have an apartment in Philly and a fat cat and you make Mexican food all the time. Dreams come true, and now you two are engaged. Everything is beautiful. Oh, congratulations. That's so nice. Dreams do 100% come true. Love seeing stuff like this. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more Am I the Gay-Hole, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Sarah Jane. My leopard gecko hates everything and everyone unless they speak at a certain tone. Congrats on being one of the few he doesn't want to murder. Oh my god, that's such an honor. That's so amazing, and I'm so glad that your leopard gecko doesn't hate me. Thank you for letting me know about this, and say hi to your leopard gecko for me. And yeah, thank you for the support, and thank you for watching my episodes. I'm so grateful for the support, guys, and let's do it again tomorrow, shall we? Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!